Here we go. Before I get started, I just would ask that you bear with me. I am absolutely terrified. I have been putting off making this video for over a year. I am scared to death to get in front of people and talk to people, and it's very scary, and that has led me to procrastinating and putting this off for a long time. And the crazy thing is this is New Vision Spiritual Center channel. My wife and I bought a church. But what kind of church has a teacher or minister that is scared to talk to people, right? So after a lot of thinking and telling myself what to do, and inner thoughts and meditating, I've decided I have to just do it, right? And so what better way to start the channel, and the subject of this channel is identifying patterns of behavior and overcoming them to live your best life. What better way to start the channel than addressing this fear that I have of being absolutely terrified of getting in front of people, talking to people, etc. So, I'm scared. I'm petrified. But why? Why? Who? What? What am I afraid of? Who am I afraid of? Why am I afraid? And sometimes, this has led me down this path of procrastination and putting things off, listening to the little voice in my head that says, dude, put it off and do it another day, or do it later, or whatever justifications we want to make to ourselves. I've said them all to myself, right? I feel like I have been my own worst enemy because I listen to the little inner voice that makes me put off exercising, put off delaying, excusing, oh, wait till you get it exactly right. Whatever excuse I give to myself in order to not face this. So here I am. So I ask that you bear with me while I get better at it. And so here we are. I feel that this is an appropriate way to start the channel because doing a deep dive into what my fears are, and what I'm afraid of, and the damage that it has done. What is fear, and how does it influence the patterns in my behavior patterns in my life? And hopefully whoever's out there listening, if anyone even listens to this, who knows, I don't know. But we all know what it feels like to be afraid of something. But as I sit here and think about it, I'm only now realizing how much it's held me back. But then the voice in my head justifies all the decisions I make and behaviors that have resulted from that. And it's nefarious. It's a nefarious pattern. It's hard to recognize sometimes because you justify things in your head, and it may not appear that it's fear as the seed of it, but it happens that way. You get, when you boil it down, and that's what part of this channel is about. It's finding these patterns, addressing the patterns, discovering what they really mean, what the deepest meaning of it is, and then figuring a way to change those inner patterns that we have working, and then address them and adjust them in order to connect with our source and live our highest self and our best life. So this brings me to what this channel is about. Again, it's about recognizing behavior patterns and symbols that appear in our lives, and then training ourselves to recognize them, properly apply new patterns in order to bring ourselves out of these destructive patterns and bring ourselves into proactive, constructive patterns, right? I've realized the time has come to make a choice here. You know, if we look around and you see the news today, we're living in dark times, and we have to choose a side. Good, evil, light, dark, whatever you want to call it. But in order to make any change, it all starts inside ourselves, and making good decisions, and recognizing our behaviors and patterns and taking accountability for them. And I have personally decided that I can no longer let fear make me not make a choice. I cannot ride the fence anymore. I cannot let my fear keep me from choosing my side. And I choose the side of good. I choose to be a light. Many of the concepts that we're talking about, fear in particular, because this is the start of the channel. Many of the concepts that we're going to talk about are at work every day, shading and distorting our perceptions, right? This includes who I think I am supposed to be, who I think I'm supposed to be in every situation, how you present yourself to the world, right? And, for many, many years, I have been a people pleaser. I have been the kind of person that tries to, instead of being my authentic, not authentic, but my highest self, the best version of myself, I have always been the kind of person that tries to tell or be whoever or whatever it is that I think people want me to be. But how can you even possibly know that? It's impossible. You can't do it. So, when a concept gets activated, we seek to validate it as being true, because that's how we perceive and process information as we go through our own lives, right? So, what if we're wrong? What if fear has jaded and distorted my perceptions of who I think I'm supposed to be? And I've meditated long and hard on this, and it has. And I have, now is where I put my foot down and say, no more, right? When I realized that this is what was happening, it's a tough pill to swallow. And you may be asking yourself, okay, get to the point. But how do I get to this realization? How did I get to this realization, and what am I doing about it, right? Well, in order to overcome fear or any destructive concept or pattern, you got to look at it deeply and internally. All the answers are inside. All of it is inside us, right? And one of the hardest things for a person to do is look inside and take personal responsibility for whatever it is, whatever situation, whatever abusive relationship pattern, whatever bad job, whatever. What is my role in it, right? In AA or NA, in the rooms, they call it taking a personal and fearless moral inventory. And what does that mean? And why is it difficult? Well, victim mentality is easier than accountability, right? Why? It's easier to shift responsibility onto someone or something else or a situation or whatever than to recognize our own role in it, right? So when doing my own moral inventory, I have to question why. Whatever the subject is, you ask yourself why, until you boil it down, until there are no more whys. And for me, when I boiled it down, the why of it all for me, in the root seed that all of this crap has in my head has sprouted from, is fear. Being afraid of what others think, being afraid of what's going to happen, fear of the future, fear of success, fear of everything. I've been terrified, and it's been paralyzing, and it's been holding me back for a long time. So I just want to give just something to think about, right? Do a quick exercise. Just take a piece of paper and write your question, whatever your question is. Why am I living this way? Why is this happening? Why am I in this abusive relationship? Why does this same thing keep happening to me? And you write the question down. And then next to it, you ask why. And then you ponder that and you write down all the reasons. And then when you have another reason, you write why. And then you continue to ponder and you write why until you get to the point where there's no more whys. And the why becomes the is the seed of it. And this takes practice. And you got to marinate on it. Because the truth is a lot deeper than just a surface answer. And you have to give yourself time to do it, right? Keep asking why until you get to the deepest truth. And my deepest truth was, I'm afraid, right? Okay, so now, what to do with this? What do I do with that, right? Well, what do I do with it? I'm sorry, I got lost here. Here we go. All right. What do I do with this? Well, these answers give you insight, right? And break down that word a second. Insight. Insight. Get it? Seeing inside. Right? And one of the things that we're going to do on this channel is break down words and patterns and symbols all into their deeper meaning, and then give the clues, take all the clues of what all of this all means and apply it in a new way so that we can make ourselves better and more of a light in this world that is so dark right now, right? But one of the things is to understand here is that insights bring understanding. Understanding the energies behind the motivations that propel our certain actions, then you can exercise control over them. And control leads to mastery. And isn't that what we're all trying to do here on this journey we're on, in this life we're living, is whether we know it or not, we are here for mental, material, spiritual, physical mastery. We need to learn. We're here to raise our awareness level and raise our spiritual awareness for mastery of it, of this plane of existence that we're on, right? Understanding is like crystallized intelligence. It's like when you get something and a gear shifts inside, and you're like, oh, okay, I got it. I understand, right? It's no longer conceptual anymore. It has become a tangible thing, right? It provides answers, and it acts as the spearhead for our ability to change and improve ourselves by removing detrimental traits and habits, right? So, how did all this work out for me? Well, I'm here doing this, and the butterflies have left a little bit. I'm 15 minutes in, and I've been talking, rambling, and going on and on, but we are all on this journey together. And the fact that I was able to get through this episode is a testament to how this can work if we put our mind to it. I have been putting, like I said earlier, I've been putting this off for over a year, but it's time to overcome our fears and be a light for others in this dark world that we live in right now, and help each other, right? And I hope that this video reaches somebody. I don't know if it will. I hope it does. But please stay tuned, and each topic we're going to discuss specific behaviors, symbols. I got all kind of crazy stuff lined up to talk about, but I want to keep it into 15-20 minute videos so that people don't just fade out, because there's a lot of good information here to be gotten. And I hope that this helps someone as it is helping me. And please leave a like and a comment below. I told myself I wasn't going to say that, but it helps. So have a wonderful everything, and I will see you next time.